Hey everybody, Ian Lee here. Hope y'all are doing well. I just want to make a quick video. At least I hope it's quick. Sometimes I can go on, but I had a really great lesson with guitar player Tim Lurch, guitarist and teacher Tim Lurch yesterday. If anyone watching has not heard of Tim, I highly recommend you go watch Tim, watch his YouTube channel, and even take a lesson from him. He's an incredible teacher, player, and just a very kind, warm presence to be around. You know, it doesn't matter how good anybody is. And to me, it's like if they've got an attitude, it doesn't matter. You know, and Tim's attitude is just about as good as they get, on top of being an excellent educator and player. Anyways, I digress. So he and I were going over How High the Moon, and we started talking about, just giving me ideas to play with and to think about. And he was talking about doing like a shout course type of thing, like a Count Basie shout course. And we were using, chords and their inversions. And then he talked about George Van Epps used to call it, this is what Tim told me at least, used to call it chord streaming, where, you take inversions of chords and you're playing little melodic lines, moving up or down the neck or whatever. And of course then in turn said, another great thing to do is to play the 5 of that chord that you're working on, especially if you're being held into that chord for a period of time, like in How High the Moon, where, for example, we have a G major for 2 bars, or an F major for 2 bars. Being able to, and he said, that's a great opportunity to use some of the Barry Harris scales of chord stuff, which he was like, which I thought was super cool. But within that, I was beginning to play with some of those ideas, but I'd been playing and practicing for a while, so I needed to pull back. My brain was starting to get kind of foggy, and I wasn't playing the way that I was hearing it. And so, it's good to just kind of take a turn for a moment and take a break from what you've been working on, let your mind process things. And so I was like, I'll just do a little more specific practice. So for me, I kind of, I think of things like I'm playing around with a song, for example, and that's kind of what I've been working on, is culminating in my creativity, and I'm really just trying to listen. Like, what am I hearing when I play over How High the Moon? I know, just trying to, and then if I, maybe I don't play quite what I hear, just hunting and pecking a little bit, going, what did I hear right there? What do I want right there? What do I hear that I can't play yet, but I can hear it? How do I make it work? And then I have practice where maybe I'm just kind of, I'm actually doing a scale of chords, or I'm doing a specific exercise within a scale, doing something, that's more getting something under your fingers and getting sound into your ears that you're unfamiliar with as well. And I started thinking about, if anybody watching here is familiar with Thomas Eccles' channel, The Labyrinth of Limitations. Again, wonderful guitar player, great teacher, great guy. He talks about this one aspect of the elevator sequence, or another way of breaking down Barry's chord systems, into what he calls shell chords. They're not what we tend to think of as shell chords as guitar players. They're, they're outlined by sixths or minor sevenths, the way that Barry's scales lay out. And then you can have what I call high or low versions of those. So you can have one of 2 in-between notes. And that looks like a good old-fashioned C triad there. You'll see here, this is the upper half of this drop 2 voicing, if you're familiar with that. And then this is upper third. This is the upper third of this drop 3 voicing, which is another way you can see these shell chords. So the point in this video that I'm making now is, as I began to explore this, I was thinking about Tim's idea of what he was saying of like making these connections, these connecting lines, and going, okay, I want to see all these voices in as many ways as possible. And as I began to explore these voicings, I started seeing familiar things, like here, I know that shape. That's you have your C major triad right there, good old out of this wonderful chord shape. We know that as guitar players. And then we put that there, and we get kind of a C6 if we want, and it's an A minor triad right there. It's however you want to view it. As we know with Barry, they're inversions of each other anyways, so that works out well. And then we have this. This guy right here. And I was like, oh, I know that. That's the lower half of this. But it's also, lower third, a higher third. My words are all jumbled today. But this is the higher third of this. And it was just fun, just in a moment, just to, make sure I wasn't just practicing the scale of its own, which is good to see these things on their own, no doubt. Absolutely. But simultaneously, to me, and this is just my own viewpoint, the guitar is connected. It's so intimately and deeply connected, and it's this beautiful, beautiful, fascinating instrument. I mean, it's just outstanding. The possibilities as guitar players that we have at our fingertips. It's truly endless. It's a lifetime, which is great, because I hope to live a long life and keep learning every day. So I'm excited by that. You see this thing right here is the higher version of that. Yeah. We have that. There's all these, and seeing it, connecting it to things you already know, these scales of chords, learning something new about them, seeing them on their own, but putting them into shapes you're familiar with. I'm a cage system person, so seeing that inside of this is helpful. Seeing that inside of this, whoops. I guess I'm kind of rambling, and maybe I don't have as specific a point as I thought I would or wanted, but I wanted to share just to connect the dots. Look for the connections and how you want to make those connections, because how you view these things and how you connect them is what ends up making you have and find your own voice in this whole beautiful process we call practice. So anyways, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and holidays are coming up, so happy holidays. I got my tree over there, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Thank you.